subjunctive mood. It is something that I need to make a final decision on and then thoroughly stick to it. As for the past few months, I've been doing some research on it, and besides the obvious second conditional, there appears to be a sort of a discourse amongst the English speaking community, mostly surrounding the idea of the subjunctive form of the verb to be being a sort of a anachronism, a relic of the past, one that does not need to be and maybe even should not be enforced, even in formal writing. Meanwhile, others consider it the only correct, proper form of English of expressing some sort of a hypothetical scenario, making a wish. And I do believe that I did find my own stance on this. And so, in my not exactly valuable opinion, there is no need for discussion when it comes to the second conditional. It simply belongs there. If I were you, I would do this. If he were faster, he would win. And even the mixed conditionals, when the imagined result happens in the past, if she were more proactive, she would have gotten the interview. Apart from this, though, I am going to be using it in all situations that are hypothetical, as if it were I wish everyone were, mostly because it does appear to be the more formal structure of these sentences, and honestly, it also has a sort of a veneer of the old times, something that I do prefer in contrast to more modern solutions and approaches to various linguistical problems. In conclusion, as long as I can argue to myself in my own head that the situation is subjunctive, either imagination or wishes, hopes, unrealistic scenarios, I am going to stick to the subjunctive form of the verb to be. Now, when it comes to present subjunctive, from my understanding, that is only American English and mostly spoken. I might be wrong, but reading some examples, it did not feel natural. Simply considered it worth mentioning here. Furthermore, all of this connects to my writing as well. Not just subjunctive, but formal writing in general, and me using that in my attempts to construct my own settings, which could possibly come across as pretentious, snobbish, or even nonsensical if it were to appear in day-to-day conversations of my characters, and I will try to address that. Besides, I am aware that there is a difference between formal and plain incorrect or grammatically wrong, which is absolutely something that I will do my utmost to avoid. More precisely, I do not think that it would make my characters look smarter and subsequently me as well than I actually am. Instead, it merely feels like it is the right thing to do, and the deeper under the surface of the English language I dive, the stronger the impact of words and phrases and sentences and structures that are considered formal is on my ability to truly enjoy the text when they turned out to be something that I have yet to encounter, searching for them through the various lexicons reading the discussions of the peoples of the internet, the latter usually resulting in even more previously undiscovered mysteries of the language resurfacing for me, which consequently leads me further down the path of exploration. What is formal? What is informal? What is neutral? What is American English? And even some mistakes such as trying to implant Czech structures into the English language, which results in unnatural structures, which later I attempt to actually use in my own writing, viewing it into the story, into my own language, with hopefully positive results, actually enriching the tale instead of creating a jumbled mess of words that could potentially carry some meaning, but definitely not the one that I had intended. To conclude this overly expansive, insufficiently informative oration of sorts, I would consider myself an advocate of the subjunctive mood used in the past consistently, and I want to strive to use formal English in my writing whenever possible, simply for the feel it gives me, which I prefer. And now rapid arrows and their expedition, hoping to unravel the secrets of the will-o-wisps appearing around the castle grounds. As the darkness deepens, Redcap wants to assist his vision with the flashlight, but Mirek stops him, worried that it might somehow alert whoever is responsible for the light coming out of the ruins. From behind a corner, Yarka notices a figure as if standing in the middle of a courtyard, which turns out to be an illusion. As they close in on it, they find out that it's a well. Someone has the genius idea to upsail to its bottom to find out what is down there. One that gets quickly shot down for how ridiculously dangerous it would be, so they at least lower down one of their flashlights to satisfy their curiosity, and the results indeed are that it would be strongly unpleasant to fall down there. Afterwards, they leave the well behind and continue further into the ruins, only to notice the source of the light once more, as if something were burning behind one of the walls. Simultaneously, they hear as if someone were digging and or using a shovel on their way towards the source of that light. Poor unfortunate Speedy falls prey to something that must have been someone's trap. In reality, he just stumbles over a rock. And when they finally make it to their destination, they find out that what it is a campfire, but its surroundings are eerily empty, causing them even more discomfort than what an entire band of thieves could ever hope to, meaning they possibly spooked someone with their approach. Mirak thinks that he has seen some shadows moving, so they finally turn on their flashlights, hurrying after said apparition, which leads them to an entrance to what appears to be an underground chamber of sorts. At least there are stairs visible, but for the sake of safety and caution, they decide to not descend down into the abyss, as there could be anyone, or well, anything for the matter, lying down in wait for anyone brave or foolish enough to try their luck. Hence, this night, the Rapid Arrows decide to abort their mission, at least temporarily, for while they are now sure that something mysterious is happening in the ruins, the direct approach turned out to be counterproductive, and so they need to find a different way and hopefully catch the culprits before they manage to disappear once more. Searching through the entirety of the ruins would be insane due to how expansive the grounds are, which also means that the number of hiding places possible exceeds what they could possibly cover during the night, and so they retreat, board their vessel. During the voyage back to their campsite, a spark of inspiration strikes. They will attempt this once more the next day, but this time they will arrive early as the afternoon, hide somewhere and wait for whoever is going to approach, and hopefully continue with their work from this night. Back at the camp, they relieve the girls from their guard duty. Apparently, they've been using hand holding to fight off fear, and it is they who will be tasked with protecting the Rapid Arrows camp once more during tomorrow's return to the castle. And that is it for today's video. I will most likely go over linking words and then more Rapid Arrows.